Good day, and thank you for joining us for another episode of As the Patch Turns, where today's topic will be Automate 2021, Patch 12. As per usual, our agenda is going to start today with a talk about Patch 2021.12 and what's in it. We'll talk about what's new in enhancements, some important changes, and then move on to top fixes. We're also going to have some additional updates for you at the end of the show today. First big new addition in 2021.12 is going to be pertaining to our script engine. We've got a filter in there now for Windows Server 2022. What that means is when I'm running a script step, I can filter on which operating systems I want it to run. We have added Windows Server 2022 to that filter. We also now have some script variables around date and time entry. You can see them listed here. It's just going to allow you to plug in a variable, and I can say, I want to pull in a time value that might be the server date and time, or maybe the agent date and time, or UTC. Now I have the ability to use these variables inline in any of my script functions to pull in the appropriate time value. We've made some vast improvements to contact management in our Web Control Center. This harkens back to our never-ending march to continue to get all of our functionality available in our Web Control Center. You can see here I am in the Web Control Center looking at my contacts. When I go in to edit a contact now, you can see I've got information on there such as associated computers. This is a list of all the computers with which this contact is associated. I can select which one I want to make the primary contact, etc. Over here on the right now, you're looking at my permissions tab. This is just going to be a list of similar permissions that you would have seen on the contact when you were in the desktop control center application. Of course, I've even got the send the reset password function to this particular contact. This is all functionality that until now required you to go into the desktop control center application. We've removed that requirement. Now you can access that right here in our WCC3 Web Control Center. Some more stuff that we've added here in 2021.12. We've added the ability to use IP address restrictions to control who's going to use that Control Center desktop application. These are things that you set up in IIS. Here's a few screenshots of what it might look like. This is something that is currently going to be available for our on-prem partners. This is going to allow you to say only certain IP addresses are going to be able to use that Control Center desktop application. This will be available for cloud partners in the future. We have not yet ironed out the details. If you wanted to explore this functionality, you would contact support to find out how can we get this configured for your cloud environment. A really important note for this patch is that you're going to need to be on MySQL 5.6 or higher to run the patch. If you're currently only on MySQL 5.5, you must upgrade before applying this patch. Some older legacy Crystal reporting components remain from a very, very old version of the product back when it was called LabTech, and that was Report Manager. There were a few little threads of Report Manager still in the product. Those have all been completely removed. Any script functions that are calling Report Manager functions will fail. We have removed all threads of Report Manager from the Automate Control Center. Got a few fixes. The checkbox for Allow Save Password on the login on the desktop control center application, that has been fixed to where it will properly honor the status of that checkbox. Patch 10 brought in some performance issues in 2021. We have fixed those performance issues in patch 12. Another issue existed when adjusting script schedules. This was causing incorrect adjustments to the script schedules when you're editing pre-existing schedules. That has been fixed. All edits will now be correct and properly reflect the changes you were trying to make. On lower resolutions, things related to maintenance mode and some extra data field windows were not displaying properly in our WCC3 Web Control Center. Those have been fixed as well. We released MySQL 8.0 and Windows Server 2019 support in 2021.10. In patch 10, we released support for installing Automate on Server 2019 and MySQL 8.0. We are in the process of testing support for Automate Server installation on Windows Server 2022. We do a little bit more testing on this, and then we'll be able to approve installation of your Automate Server on Windows Server 2022. Coming soon to a web control center near you is going to be the script editor, never stopping our forward march to get all functionality in the web. You will be able to edit scripts in the web that is set for pilot in 2022 patch 1. When that successfully passes pilot, you're going to see it in production in a future release video like this one. Everybody, we thank you for joining today. Please stay tuned for another scintillating episode of As the Patch Turns. Love you.